This is an update video to let you know where I am and what I'm doing at the moment. Now, I probably don't look that great or sound that great. I do have a cold, but hopefully that'll pass in the next few days. Now, I have a break in my teaching at Glasgow Uni, so I won't be starting back until sometime in January. So I'm going to take the next few weeks just to concentrate on the CPU. Now, if you've been working through my suite of courses, you will have seen the top screen here. Now what I'm wanting to show you now is some of the stuff that we will come on to, if not in the Design a CPU 4 course, but in the CPU 5 course. So this is work that has been done not by myself, but by Timothy Morgan, who I've mentioned in previous videos, who has helped me out with a lot of the coding. In fact, he's done most of the coding. So my interests tend to be in the mathematics and also in the, if you like, the hardware design. Once I get up to the point where I have to write thousands of lines of code, that's when my knowledge starts to kind of fall apart a bit. I can generate the code, and I did generate the original assembler, but it's not particularly neat and tidy. It's quite unprofessional. So I've had help from him to design the all of the software. Okay, and in fact, he's gone ahead and he's already in effect generated the whole a compiler and a linker, and he's redone the assembler, which was my original assembler, which wasn't particularly great. So that's a massive bit of work, and he's kindly allowed me to use that, and I was intending to use his code in order for us to do the CPU 5 course, which really would be looking at what the compilation involves, and we would be using his code and working through his code as a piece of example code in order to learn that process. So thank you very much to Timothy for doing all of this work. So I have to remind people, this is not my code, this is Timothy's code. Okay, I have to give him the a recognition for him having done all of this work. Okay, so let me just give you an indication here of what we will be doing on going forward. What we have here is a Visual Studio Code Editor, and we have under this RMG folder just a lot of test routines. Okay, so these routines are written in a pseudo C language. Okay, so I've picked one out, for example, that was the factorial.rmg. So you can see here it's a C type code. So I'll zoom in a little bit so you can see it. Now my image might disappear at some point. Okay, so just to let you know, but there's the code there. So we can see here in this instance it's working out the factorial. So we will be able to put in a number into the screen, and it will work out the factorial of that particular number. And you can see it's got the usual kind of C constructs. It's got the include file at the top. It's got the void main, and it's got the main part of the code, and it defines the integers. So I'll turn this here off. Okay, so and it's got the integers here, defining the integers, pointers, and it works through the for. In effect, it would be a for loop. Okay, and I'm not going to talk through all of it because a lot of this coding here, it will come together within the Design a CPU 5 course. But the point is that we can take this here and then we can go through and we can compile it. Okay, so if I lift this up at the bottom here, you'll see it going through the compilation. So you see it's worked through compiling, so it's done this tokenization parsing and it's generated the ASM file. Okay, and then from the ASM file, which is an assembly language file, it's then gone ahead and generated the machine code via the assembler, and you can actually see these here. So there's the ASM file which it has generated. Okay, so that's the ASM file there. That's all of our assembly language. So this has all been generated from the compiler, and then it's gone down, and if we head into the machine code, you'll see it's got the factorial machine code. So this is all the machine code which has been generated from the assembler. Now we can go ahead and we can load up the machine code into the machine, open, and if I put in the factorial MC, that's us loaded the machine code in. We go to the top level and we can tick enable and we can start running through this. So it's now running through this at the moment. So if I make this just a little bit smaller again so that you can see the whole screen. Okay, so you can see it working through here, and it's asked us the value for X. So for example, we could put in the value for X. Let's say it's going to be a value of 5. And you can press enter. And now it's going to work through and work out the value of 5 factorial. So 5 factorial should be, well, it's 120. So it's working through that now. So we'll give it a few seconds for it to work through. I'll make sure it's running at top speed. It is. Now again, it's run a bit slower just now because I've got a slow machine and I'm recording this at the same time, so it's it slows everything down a little bit, so it would be working maybe 2 or 3 times faster than what you see here. And obviously if you were doing it on your own machine and it was a decent machine, then this should run relatively quickly. So what I'll do is I'll fast forward this, and well, that's us now. It's just actually coming up. So here we can say x factorial is equal to, and now it works through and it's generating the factorial. And the nice thing is that it will generate the numbers for the factorial, but we'll also do the conversion into the decimal value. So there we have there the 5 factorial is equal to 120. Okay, so the process does work, and this is a full code compilation and then assembly language, and then that assembly language into a machine code, and machine code running on the machine and generating an answer on our display. So this is really the entire cycle which I was hoping to generate over the 5 Design a CPU courses. Now, as I've said in a previous video, I've had to take a bit of a break from my work because I've been doing a lot of time lecturing in mathematics, but I have this next 2 or 3 weeks in order to get a push on with this, and I'd like to thank Timothy personally as well for really keeping me continuing on this process. There's an awful lot of work still to do, even though the design work has been done. I still have to go through all of it and then to explain it all to everyone else and create the courses. So I haven't been sitting about doing absolutely nothing. We do have a roadmap for an entire process here. So it is really quite exciting stuff, and we've got everything sitting there that we need in order to get on and get this course, next 2 courses finished. So that's all for this video. Thank you for listening. I'll get you on the next video. Goodbye.